So this is me. I'm a bit of an oddball, as I am in the health sciences faculty, not the Faculty of Environment, but I'm doing my sustainable development certificate, so that's how I slip in here. And I did my honors thesis on using GIS to measure built environment safety around schools. So the Canadian Society for Exercise Physiology recommends 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity per day for elementary age students. And one of the best ways to get that is to use active transportation to get to and from school rather than driving. So we're actually part of a larger study with hub cycling, where we're looking at the modes of transportation to school with elementary students, and this is a couple of pictures that we've taken along the way. But my thesis is focusing on the physical built environment factors that are in the left side there, rather than the individual factors or external factors, but it is still important to consider that parents are influencing how kids are getting to school, especially at the younger elementary age. This is a totally staged photo to show that we are doing these counts, and they're not done yet. So my study, we actually used a proxy of the census cycling and walking to work mode share rather than the elementary school share, because we just aren't there yet. This is the summary of the built environment variables that we looked at and how we measured them in GIS. And we broke them down by design, diversity, and density, which are the 3Ds of built environment design. And then we mapped each of those variables, as well as the walking and cycling mode share, in Vancouver and Surrey, to look at where the visual themes were of where people are walking and cycling. So we can see here in Vancouver that it's very much focused around the downtown core and Falls Creek, and then expands outward to East Vancouver and more along the northwest. It's very low in the south, particularly the southeast there. And the built environment variables, when we mapped them, looked very similar to that pattern. We also did Surrey, which shows less of a pattern and also a lot less walking. Vancouver, the highest was 38%, where we only see 7.9% here. And cycling was completely negligible. There's only one school catchment where there is any cycling share showing up. And then here, it's just more in that north corner, and in the south near White Rock, where we're seeing higher amounts of walking. So we also, after doing those visual trends, wanted to look at a Pearson's correlation to get more of a number to see where those trends actually were. So those are those results. And just to show what the Pearson's correlation is looking at, it's the fit of the line. So the highest one we had was the traffic light density. And you can see in Vancouver, the fit of the line between the walking mode share and the traffic light density is quite good. And in Surrey, we don't have a very good spread of the data. So it's not as good of a fit. And ultimately, these are those results. So the ones highlighted green are where we saw positive moderate to high correlation in both Vancouver and Surrey. So traffic light density, transit stop density, proportion of roads with transit routes, and street smart walk score. So those are the built environment features that we particularly want to pay attention to moving forward, looking at if they are a determinant of walking and cycling to school, and also if they are protective from road traffic injuries. And then the ones highlighted blue were also correlated in Vancouver, but not Surrey. And so they may also be of note because the data in Surrey was just not as good due to it being more of a suburban sprawling area. So street light density, proportion of roads with bike lanes, transit score, bike score, land use mix, and crime incidents and population density may also have an effect there that we want to pay attention to in future studies. And then we are just continuing on the school counts with hub cycling, and over the summer we're going to be writing a journal article with using the actual active school transportation counts rather than the census journey to work mode share, looking at those built environment features. And that's it for me.